Well, hi, good morning, and thank you so much for joining me in my shop here. It's October 16th today, another session on this great radio. Now, something has happened here in my shop. It's actually not happened in my shop. It happened with the video. I accidentally deleted the first section, the first 5 or 10 minutes of my shop session here today, and it's gone. It's not recoverable. So I don't even know what was in that piece. Probably me talking, just introducing the situation with this radio. So unfortunately, that piece is missing. The next piece you're going to see is it may not make 100% sense because I may be talking about stuff that has been deleted now. In any case. The situation with this radio is, oh my gosh, I remember now what it was. It was me showing you on the schematic what the situation was. Okay, we're going to have to do that. All the videos I've made, this is the biggest mistake I've ever made in a video, actually deleting a portion of it. So here's the story though. I was in here last night studying the situation, and here's what I determined. If you look over where, just one sec here while I get the right, where am I? If you look here, okay, so this is the 230 kilohertz IF through here. And it's the last thing that's done with the signal at the RF level. Right after this, it gets detected here. And from then on it's audio. I was able to see the signal at 230 kilohertz at this output on my SDR. It's there. So we know all this stuff is working back here. But we don't get any audio coming out down here. So the things that become a little bit suspicious, and incidentally, there's two detectors here. They're both connected all the time, and the switching occurs on the output side of the two detectors here. There's one right here, product detector, and this is the regular AM rectifier type detector. The switching occurs on the output of these two through this switch, and then one or the other or whatever goes out on this line, which is on the J14 jack at the back, and it continues on. And then count these: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines. Try to find 5 lines. 5 lines. What's happened here? 5 lines. Why didn't I find them? 5. I should delete this too. Where'd the 5 lines go? I'm all confused here. Did I not? Someone help me out here. Here we are. This is the same. There's the 5 lines. Okay, and here's the top one carrying the audio, and it comes over. It goes right into the volume control, and then out of the volume control, there's another J14 opportunity to check it, and then it heads into the audio circuit output transformer, and out you come. This output transformer has 2 outputs, by the way. It has the low impedance output here for a speaker, and it has a high impedance output for doing, sticking it into audio equipment or whatever. 600 ohms is a standard for high impedance audio circuits. So we've been listening here with the speaker on here, or I'm listening through the headphones now and then. Okay, what we're going to do, if I can remember right, it was only a few minutes ago I did it, is we're going to poke around and try to detect the audio in these circuits and try to figure out, is it the switch that's not working, which is not very likely? Is it this guy, which is quite possible? Is it these? What's going on here? How come the audio is not making it out to the speaker? That's the objective today. So I think the first thing is we're looking for audio here. Wasn't there another spot? Yeah, up here. That's kind of the same thing. Almost the same thing. Just through the volume control. So this is before the volume control, after the volume control. That's what these two would be. Okay, so that's the best introduction I can do for what's coming next. That's it. Okay. Okay, I think we're ready for a test try here. Just make sure Volume is down, RF is up, AGC is off. The band we're on is, we're actually tuned to an AM station right now. It's where I left it last night. My antenna is switched on down here. Still have some scope connections that don't need to be there. Okay, I think we're down to what we need. So audio coming out of the back on this J14 jack. I've got it going through some resistors, capacitors, because I happen to have them. So why not? And it's going into the audio system here, and we're going to hear it. I'm going to turn it up. Not a thing. Test it out. Oh, I know why there's... That's funny. Why am I not hearing this? Well, it could be I didn't plug my headphones in. There we go. Okay. Yeah, certainly. Okay. Okay, I'm going to turn up the volume over here about halfway. I don't know what that means, so prepare to get your ears blasted. But I do have the volume down here. But this, you know what? We're taking the signal before the volume control, so I'm going to turn it down on the sound panel here before we get an unpleasant surprise. Okay, it's actually turned down. You can't hear anything right now. Okay, we're ready to power up. Think so. Think not. Why didn't? Oh, no power to the power supply again. Okay, that's called defense in depth. Make you think twice every time you do something. Here we go. What do we got? We've got a panel indication going right off on signal strength. That's pretty cool. This says 360. We're on the 500. You can't read it in here, but we're at the I guess the lowest band, 0 to 1500 with the synthesizer set to 500. Add in 360, and what do you get? You get 860, and there's a powerful station there, and so that all adds up perfectly. So we're receiving, this is a French language CBC station. Are you hearing anything? So first I'm going to turn this up and see if it comes out of the speaker by some chance. Did it fix itself overnight? It does not appear to have. Yeah, we're not hearing a thing coming out of the speaker. Now I'm going to turn it up on the sound panel. Here we go. Here's the thrill is here. Watch my hand here. Not a thing. Okay, so either I'm doing something wrong, or there's no audio at this point in the radio. Doing something wrong. So I do have this capacitor and resistor in over here. Let's get rid of them. That capacitor is it was a 10K. Okay, so now we're kind of clicked on more directly. Okay, I'm turning up the volume. A little more hum. No program. Just in case I'm wrong about the volume control. I was going to say, but I'm not.
Des huiles infusées à l'ail maison puis garder ça en armoire, effectivement, ça peut être dangereux. Mais ce qu'on doit savoir là, sur la science de l'ail, c'est que
that doesn't make sense to me.
Ça transforme beaucoup selon les différents traitements que les molécules vont subir. Même, bon, l'ail cuit, on sait que ça ne doit pas du tout la même chose, mais même la manière de le couper.
There's no question it's there. Let me turn this way down and turn this up.
Si je l'ai haché, c'est pas la même chose. Si je l'ai en fine tranche, on le presse l'ail. Oui.
Well, just in case you're not convinced.
Le visage de Michel est
we're on the highest bandwidth. Still pretty tight.
Il y a un problème avec le presseur.
Well,
on sort tout ce qui est âtre dans le
how does the volume control affect this? Am I not where I think I am in the circuit? I have plugged into this one that says audio input. Audio input, and we're listening to, you know what, I don't think this is 17. Let's look on the schematic. Something weird's going on. 17 on the schematic. Here we go. So Oh, so 17 is here. I thought I checked this and there was no audio here before, so I'm on 17. Somehow I thought I was aiming for 18. Well, I was aiming for 18. But that doesn't matter. If we're hearing it at 17, then we know it's, and that's why the volume control is working, of course. Then we know the signal's coming all the way to here. It does not appear to be on the other side here, but I don't know that for sure. And the reason I say that is because it's not coming out the speaker. So we got it all the way to here. Now, I thought this capacitor might be a problem. Can we find this capacitor? Oh my gosh, this is tough. How are we going to find that? We'd have to find this transistor. That's easy in this radio. They're all marked. They're all labeled. Find it, and then, oh my gosh, who knows where this is. Generally, they've got boards with parts on them, and the boards kind of have all the parts that are related to each other, of course, on them. They have to be close together, and then they're close to the item. Maybe. Volume control? Holy smokes. Well, anyway, that's great news. Anyway, and that means the switch is okay, and it means the volume control is okay. It just means we're right here now. Even what if I skip? Why can't I test it further down here? One test I've never done is test this output here, in case this output is broken and the signal really is available here. Well, that's an easy thing to do because I'm pretty much set up to do that. Let's do that. We'll knock that out of the way. So we'll go down and we'll test this. I think it's a 600 ohm output. Yeah, 600 ohms output. That's okay. That'll work on my sound here. Okay, let's do that. Let's do that. Come on over to this side. So here in the audio outputs, I'm on the speaker connections. The 600 are here. 600, 0, 600. So all I got to do is just move my audio connection from down here. Have I got the sound up? I do. Let's turn it down before we get hummed to death. And then we just want to put, oh, it's not grounded. This side is grounded. Does it really matter? I don't think it would matter. I think it matters not. The center one's not grounded, eh? There's no reason to think it's grounded. Why would they ground it? Why would they do that? Okay, so we just need to do this momentarily too. We're going to go on here. I've grounded something. It's going to be able to hang on. Hang on there. Okay, it's hanging on. The volume is up a bit. Okay, volume on the sound panel. Oh, this is interesting. Okay. Huh. You gotta be kidding me. Speaker audio. So now this is a low impedance connection here. This is what the speakers are listening to. What the speaker is hooked up to. There's nothing there. I hear it very faintly. Let me turn this way up.
Les judéo-chrétiens. J'ai une histoire drôle avec...
The speaker's not connected? Is this what you're going to tell me now? You're going to tell me that all this time? It's nothing more than the speaker is actually not connected properly? So when you hook up to these screws here with clips, I've found quite often that it looks great, while in fact the connection is no good. So sometimes I tighten these screws down. Let me turn up the speaker. Okay, so the speaker, the volume's up full. So if this thing starts working, you see with the high impedance input on the soundboard, a little bit of volume there is enough to drive it, and we can hear it. There's nothing here to drive the speaker. let me turn it down. I'm totally floored at this situation. The whole radio's been working the whole time, and it's really been a blown output transformer. Now, I think somebody suggested that possibility, but you know, that's not the one you want to jump to, because that's bad news. What are we doing? What am I doing? No, I don't want to do that. I want to go inside here. Wow, is one of these grounded? Yes, but it doesn't matter. It's just a speaker lead to a speaker. It's not grounded. Okay, no problem. Let's go in here. Think there's any high voltage to get a shock? No, there's no high voltage in this radio. You can't really get a shock. Can you? Can you get a shock out of this radio? I don't think so. Whoops. So what I'm trying to do is connect right to the terminals in the back. I guess you can figure that out. And avoid the screws. Here we go. Nothing. Volume up full. Try the other speaker, Jim. Could something have gone wrong with the speaker? Well, that's extremely unlikely. But let us check, because I can. Let's just knock a bunch of stuff down. Other speaker. Yeah, if this worked, I'd really be upset at that point. We hear nothing. Now, what if I do stick this briefly low impedance speaker on here? I think this is a bad thing to do in the long run. Probably can't hear anything. Yeah, it's not going to reproduce because the speaker's low impedance, and it just this thing can't produce the current it needs. So I'm going to put it back on here and just verify what has happened here. Volume is down on the soundboard. Okay, volume going up. Huh. Jeepers, creepers. Wow. Okay. Blown output transformer. But it worked for a while. It worked for a while. Let's say that one more time. It worked for a while. Why won't it work now? That's something to think about. Well, the good news is this whole radio works, and it's usable with just a little bit of finagling on the audio output. Normally in my listening area, I feed a high impedance output from a radio like this, if it has one, or just the ordinary audio output. I feed it into a mixer panel, and so I have all these shortwave radios I listen to. All their audio is going through a mixer, actually two mixer panels, and then I select which one I want to listen to. The fact that this one's got a high impedance output is actually perfect for that purpose. So in fact, from my point of view, this is not a loss at all. This is a total gain. Yeah, this is it. It's just coming clear to me now. I may have a beautifully working radio here. Why don't we give it another test? After I drink a little coffee, I'll lay this thing down. We'll run it through its bands. Not all of them, because it'll take all day. And just see what's going on. Fantastic. One of the things that happens with electrical equipment like this and so many other things is those parts that stick out and people do stuff with can break more easily than all the things that are deep inside the radio. What are those parts? Things like connecting terminals and controls and all these things mechanically worked a little bit and bend the wires a little bit and maybe in the long run break something. So is that what happened here? That's my question. Is the wire just broken just behind the terminals here, right in here? Let's take a look and see if that's the case. And you know, it's very tempting when I'm doing these videos to look before videoing, look myself, which I do occasionally. But most of the time, you're getting the surprise the same time I am. So let's take a look here. So the two terminals. I think I've got automatic focus on, which is, there we go. So these are the two terminals I have my finger on. One is a ground terminal. I could test that quite easily. So here are the connections. And looking at them, do they wiggle at all? They do wiggle a little bit. Look at this one. Oh, the whole thing is wiggling here. Let's see if I can steady up my hand. Well, the wires look like they're connected. I'm not going to give up so easily, though. Let's do an ohmmeter thing here. Well, how could I do that? Well, the ground one, you can actually see it. The orange wire comes over to here, and there's the ground terminal right there. And in fact, the ground terminal is under this rivet. Riveted ground terminals are not good. Often in radios you'll see they took time to solder these things down to the chassis, but not this one. Could that be the problem? It could be. It could be. Now there's another wire coming off here going... Oh no, that's something else. I was going to a shielded cable. What the heck? No, it's something else. A red wire back there. Red, orange. Where's it going? It's going in a bundle. Probably heading to the output transformers. Probably where that's heading. Where is the output transformer? I don't know. Okay, so we really want to check these two wires here. And get some kind of more positive indication now. First of all, I should be able to read a resistance between the lugs here through the transformer. That's probably the biggest test right there. Let's try that. $60,000 ohms. Okay, just checking the two. Huh, how do you like that? That's what you would expect if they're good. 600 ohms. This is probably only 2 or 3 ohms in this coil here. I don't know if we can really read it. Why is it jumping around like that? Three, 4, 3, 1.5. Why is it jumping around so much? We'll do it right on the terminals here. Why is it jumping around? Because the wire's loose? To ground. My finger's on it. Yeah, it never goes stable. Then it goes stable, just when I said that, 1.1. Now it's all stable. Okay, on a whim, I'm going to resolder these two connections here. A whim. Yeah, I had a whim. I brought a whim in with me this morning. I'm going to use it. So I'm going to solder the two connections back here, and fat chance on that doing anything, but that's what I'm going to do. We'll see what happens. Okay, before I solder those connections, I did that test with this thing operating. Duh. Let's turn it off. Let's try it again. Could it be the audio signal there? Was the rhythm? I don't know. Okay, so we're reading resistance, and we're looking for just a stable number. Let's start right with the terminals again. Well, that's quite a different result, isn't it? Oh, it still is not terribly stable. Let me try it back here. I'll try one on the ground and one on the terminal. Well, it looks a lot more stable. So I guess having the set operating while I was doing that was. So what's this? This tells me it's not open, circuited. Something definitely weird going on. So let me go back and finish. I didn't do the solder yet. We will solder these guys up. Why don't you watch me do that exciting process? So I have had an experience with a soldered connection that looked just fine, but in fact was not. And I can't imagine that's the case here. But we're going to eliminate the possibility by doing this. I just can't imagine that's going to do anything. Okay, we'll hook up the speaker again. Yeah, smoky in here. Okay, volume on the sound board is down. Volume here is down also. Good. Fire up. And check the meter. The meter shows we're still tuned in. Volume. Well, I'm almost happy we're not hearing anything, because if we did, then it would really... How does this happen? Let's just throw it on the scope for a second here. See what's going on. Don't imagine I'm going to see anything. Ooh, don't drop the lead into the... Of course, this is a low voltage radio. Dropping a lead into it probably wouldn't be the end of the world. We're on the lower one, are we not? We're on the upper one. We're on the upper one. We're on the upper one, I think. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to put this on the output, the ungrounded output. Could we possibly see anything? Volume is up full. No, of course not. Back here. We see nothing. Now we do the same thing on the output here, even though I've got a ground on. What do we get? We may not see anything. Volume up. Yeah, we're not going to see it. Oh, I got this thing set. Let's just set very, we're on the upper one. Make it really sensitive. So, okay, now, you probably can't see it, but there's a little bit of audio action there. Shows that the audio is in place on the high impedance output. You can even get enough of it onto the scope just doing this. Now we'll go back to the audio. There's a tiniest little bit there. But what does that mean? What does it mean? Next to nothing. I got this thing on 5 millivolts per division, so we got on the times 10 or the times 1. We're on the times 1. It's barely putting a mark there, so and the volume is turned up. There's a confusing thing here. We're getting indications that the secondary side of the output transformer designed for speakers, a low impedance part, has no signal on it, yet I can read resistance through it. Maybe it's shorted. Ooh, you wouldn't want that. You wouldn't want your output transformer to develop a short on the low impedance side. That would eventually cause heating, I would think, at high volumes over a long period of time. Would also draw down the volume for any other outputs that might be in that transformer, which there is, but the output does not seem to be drawn down. I don't think there's a short in the output transformer. I don't know what's going on because the open circuit theory didn't work either. Where is that transformer anyway? Let's see if I can rotate this all the way. Round and around and around we go. That's probably it right there. It's ice cold. It's pretty big. It's a big guy. And all the wires are hidden underneath. And good luck trying to see anything in there. I wanted to see how many wires were coming out of that. Well, I think that's a conclusion at this point, is output transformer pooched on the low impedance output, but still operating on the high impedance output, still makes it perfectly usable for me if I just amplify the output. So let's give this guy another drive and through the bands, and just see if there isn't anything else that's cooking up. Otherwise, I think this radio is working beautifully. That's what I think. And how would that output transformer fail anyway? That's a really interesting question. My conclusion could still be wrong. There could be something else I don't know that can explain all this. But for now, half blown output transformer. Let's play with this radio. Okay, I think we're ready to go here. Let's put on the power. Volume is down. Oh, what happened here? Wow, some meters went really hard. That's bad news. I wouldn't want it to hit hard like that. Okay, but it survived and it's working. Here's some sound. Now, if you hear some popping sound in the background, that's actually a ham radio in the back of the room here. Oh, I'm getting called. I gotta run. Okay, let's give this guy a go here. Now the antenna I'm using is a mini whip antenna, mounted outdoors, of course, and it's not a wire antenna, it's a mini whip. So we're sitting here on, let me turn this down, we're sitting here on 860 AM to start with. That's where we're tuned. You can see the 860s right here. So let's just fool around with this station a little bit. The first thing I notice is, where's the treble? Where's the treble? Let's see if we can find it. I don't think we can, but let's see if we can. What's this volume control? It's all in the first bit, and then after that, artifact of using the 600 ohm output? I don't know. Okay, RF is up, AGC is off. Meters high. So first we'll try fooling with this guy here. Turn up a bit more. So this probably only affects when we're on SSB, single sideband. I don't think it's doing anything. Put it back to what looks like the neutral position. Rejection tune is a slot filter moving back and forth across the IF band. probably be pointing straight up right now, or maybe the radio's not tuned quite right. Let's try that. Yeah, I don't know about that. Yeah, well, that's not working. Put it back on 860. Put this back up here. So we'll change the bandwidth. It's set for the widest bandwidth, 8 kilohertz. It doesn't sound like what you would expect 8 kilohertz to sound like. Any different? Let me put a little more volume here.
Oui, qui est comme une espèce d'alter ego de Serge Fiori, mais il n'y a pas, on va dire, le terme québécois de souche, on ne l'aime tous pas, là, mais on va dire ce que ça veut dire. Mais il y a
That's 500 hertz. That's really narrow. That's for CW and stuff. Let's go back here.
C'était curieux de savoir
Tune
si
for the
Vincent
pointer.
allait passer par-dessus ce bug, que toi, tu as eu de la misère à... C'est quoi ce bug, Vincent?
Ben, en fait, c'est
The
toi
Law
de
of the
parler de ça
860.
en premier parce que c'est un super livre.
Donc, parlons de ça en deuxième.
Go up.
Parce que le grand intérêt, moi, j'ai
Meter-
terminé
meter-
le
meter
livre
goes up.
lundi soir, mardi matin, dans l'actualité, il y a la GRC qui disait que des
Here's
membres de
the-
la communauté sikh canadienne qui font partie du
Is the center
mouvement
still here?
indépendantiste pro-Khalistan sont dans la mire du gouvernement indien de
Seems
Modi,
to be.
qui fait, lui, la
Well, next
promotion
one.
du national.
Now it sounds like it's way off.
Immunité diplomatique pour faire enquête.
So what this is showing is a form of alignment problem. Exactly what it is, I don't know, because I don't know the radio, but obviously when you make this control change, the center of the station should stay tuned in the same place, even if it's the wrong place. It should be the same place.
Et le roman nous amène de deux des personnages. Il s'appelle
Go back.
Lui, Sunil, vient d'un milieu plus pauvre.
Now,
Elle
it
vient
sounds
d'un
like a
milieu
little more
plus
treble
aisé.
is there.
Lui
That's
est
because
très,
we're kind of tuned off center.
tout ce qu'il peut trouver
And so
sur tous
we
les
brought the
médias,
higher
articles,
frequencies into the
journaux
range of
disponibles.
reception.
Elle,
I
beaucoup
put
moins
this back to the
politisée.
maximum
Et donc,
signal.
leur amour naît avec l'escalade de la tension
Very, very
qui
sharp
monte
tuned
là-bas
radio.
parce que, pour la petite histoire, l'Inde...
What's
l'Inde
happening too is I think
est
as
un
people
de-
we're getting used to listening to this muffled voice. It's starting to sound less and less muffled all
donc,
the time.
47,
Getting used to it.
l'Inde proclame son...
Okay, so this station would not normally pin somebody's meter like it is here. Like this isn't that strong. Wow. So this radio appears to be really hot. So let's tune up band from here, where there's very few stations to hear during the day, and they're all weak. And most of them are community, low-power community stations coming up out of Toronto.
Avec le nationalisme
And-
parents ne
québécois.
vivent pas français.
Here we go.
Ils sont
Leur
complètement...
So I can only go up as high as I'm going down. Going down, Jim. You're going the wrong way.
sont en Inde, on est en
850.
1940.
1010 should do something. Nobody. Well, that's not very impressive. 410 plus 5. That's not 1010. That's 910. A little bit of dirt. There comes 1010. Hello. Calling 1010. I went past the end of the dial. So of course you only go 500, which is kind of a problem with this guy. So if I'm at 0 and 500, I'm not at 0. I'm at 500 and 500, so I'm at 1,000 right now. We'll tune the synthesizer for the next band up. You can see that this is way out of alignment here on this band. There we are. So we are now operating at 500 plus 1,500, so we're at the top of the AM band, so to speak. Coming down. Anybody? So I would like to hear some hiss, some antenna hiss and stuff. Not coming through. Didn't pick a thing up. Don't know what to make of that. Radio not working? Okay, we're going to jump up on the band switch now, all the way to this 4 to 10 megahertz, because there's no use fooling around with 1.5 to 4. There's nothing there. Okay, and so we're going to start off with 9 megahertz, which is perfect because there's stuff there. So we're at 9 plus 80, 70. We're at 9, so this would be 9 megahertz here. So, oh, I know what I forgot. Let's go back. So we're back on that. We want this to be a million up here. Here we are. Come on, light. There we go. So we're at a million plus 10. 10, 10. I don't think I adjusted this. Where's 10? Huh. There's 10, 10. Very hard to hear.
Some fatal potentially injuries is what they're saying. But then they think, oh, well, it's actually making it worse.
1010's at 1020.
I would have broken my collarbone otherwise. So I think this association that people are making causes them to think, oh,
you have to adjust this every time, all the time. This thing has to be adjusted. It's very sharp.
Concussion or something, it's still limiting you from just breaking
okay,
your head open.
1010.
He's been great. That's why this is so surprising.
No.
Been sensitive. Of all the owners that we've dealt with in town, and
1060? Or would that be 1070? Oh. So I did hear that this radio is not good for scanning bands, and I can see why already. You have to tune 2 things simultaneously. This is really for an even sharp within the little 500 here. If this were a regular antenna tuner, what, you tune it once and leave it.
with Dr. Salmon this Saturday at 1 p.m. on Joy Radio. Sorry to be confusing, but with Niall Motormouth Jenkins, you'll get your weekly dose of automotive know-how. With almost 3 decades of popping the hood and diagnosing...
I'm using my sound system to adjust the treble and bass. So it was set flat before, now I'm suppressing the bass a lot. Sounds a little more normal, but oh, once again. Wow. Not a convenient radio to use. This seems to be coming up right on the number. Is it possible to tune this in such a way that the peak ends up offside here? Let's try. Don't think so. No, I don't think so. Looking for a reason why the other stations were tuning off the side here. And I don't know that that was the right number necessarily. Yeah, this is definitely a two-hander. Usually you use 2 hands. You have one on the tuning and one on the volume. Okay. We're up near the top of the band here. This is 1430. I'm not sure it's consistent in where it shows up in here. Different parts of the band seem to be in different places, but I'm not sure. So most good radios would pick this up without too much difficulty, but it would be fringy. If we watch the meter, Okay, let's go do some shortwave now. We were up at 9 before. Where are we now? Bingo. 9.5 plus 420 is 9920. And I didn't even do the pre-select. Just happened to be in the right spot. Okay, so we're at 420, we can only go down. No, we wouldn't be at 420, we'd be at 920, at 9,920. Now we're at 9,890. Take a while to get used to this. Oh! I don't hear anything. Going too fast. I get confused on which way to turn the knob. So 9, let's go to 9. We want to go to 933. So we dial in 9. And then we dial in 3, 3, 0. There it is.
Apostle
Right there.
Paul prayed for the believers in Ephesus that they would not be to and fro and carried about with every wind of doctrine by the trickery of men in the cunning craftiness of deceitful plotting. The danger is very
The
real,
cunning craftiness
especially
of
now.
deceitful
There are
plotting.
voices everywhere, each one insisting that their body of beliefs is true, and everyone else wrong.
That's pretty much right on.
Sometimes, in uncovering more light, it may appear that some truths contradict other truths.
Okay, so we're going to jump up now to the 19 meter band, which is 15 megahertz. This is a good exercise to see what it's like to really use this guy. So we're at 15, light is out. It's beautiful how this system is working here. 15 on here. It'll be like that. Anybody hear anything? So we really want to go to 15.5 to get to 15.770, but let's just poke around here. What's that clicking? So we're coming down from 15.5 towards 15. Wow. You do have to just, you're going to turn this thing all the way, you got to have your hand on this. So let's go for 15.770. So what we'll do is 15. Get down here. You know, I may have been looking at this wrong. So I think we're on 15.5 now. So 15.5 to get to 770, we need this on 270. So we'll turn the volume down, we'll dial up 270. Is it going to work? There's 270. Maybe there's nobody on right now. Maybe I didn't turn this.
The hardest thing I learned in nursery
Wow.
is debating with people.
Right on.
It's a waste
Right
of
on the
time
money.
and effort. You can spend all your time arguing with one or two individuals in a church of 50 to 100 or 200, and you're spending all your
Last thing we'll do is we'll go hunting for some CB radio and see if that's really happening. Is that happening right now? I don't know. So here we will go to 27. Is the phase lock not operating? Uh-huh. You gotta go slow maybe. No phase lock. Oh, that's interesting. So you wouldn't be surprised if a radio had trouble at the higher frequencies. I wouldn't be surprised. Anybody locking on this band at all? Oh, maybe this wasn't right. Okay, this button. Okay, good. That's all it was. Wow. So 27, and look for CB guys talking. Now, if the skip is going, we should come across it. Just a bunch of screaming nonsense. Oh! See, I'm gonna forget this all the time. Well, that sounds like a single sideband. So we'd be at 27,380. That's pretty high. I don't know the frequencies exactly. Yes, there's single sideband on CB. I heard him. Just faded in just briefly. Okay. Oh. There he is. Good. Okay. I get a kick out of listening to, I find it entertaining listening to CB radio. Okay. That's fantastic. Well, it seems to me some alignment effort might be required here. I think what I will do is I will consider this to be an operable state now. And I'll go put it back in my listening area, and I'll just make it one of the radios that I listen to regularly. I'll gain some experience with it, and then if it looks to me like it would really benefit from attention, then come back in the shop for that. But for now, I want to gain some operating experience with it. Not the best outcome, but 90%. Yeah, actually, this is the best outcome because look at a long journey with this radio to come back to a defective output transformer, which is still a little mysterious to me, honestly. Well, thanks a lot for watching, and something else will be in here tomorrow to take a look at and work on. Something a little smaller than this guy. See ya.